Oh, this is a nice trout, baby. Look at that. Yes, nice Tampa Bay
tail
trout.
walking like a snook.
That's what I'm talking about. Slam Shady 2.0, little Dr. Juice. Woo. That's a good looking Tampa Bay trout there. Sorry there, Joel. Let me get out of the way here. Luke, check this guy out, dude.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Oh, I gotta make sure my phone doesn't, whoa, fall out of my.
I got one. I got something.
Luke's on now?
Never mind. Keep focusing on Joe's. This is embarrassing.
Oh, at least it's, I thought you were gonna tell me it's a catfish.
I thought it was a pinfish at first. At least you
Snapper.
got a mangrove snapper.
Dude, that was a legit trout there.
So check out what this snapper ate. So I'm using the bomber. Joe has the 2.0. This is a 6-inch snapper that just ate a 5-inch lure. That is very impressive. This guy is going to grow up to be a beast if it keeps that appetite.
I'm gonna hit this point right here. All right, we found an area with some fish.
Yep.
Tons of pinfish down here. I mean, you can see my rod tip, but it's just getting hammered. And like a lot of times, we got our artificial lures. Luke's got Slam Shady Bama. I got the Slam Shady 2.0, which is my kind of go-to confidence. And I wish I would have had that trout in so you guys could have seen it. Just have to trust me when I say it was a nice one.
Oh, you got off?
Yeah, I mean, it's right at the boat.
Oh, that doesn't count then.
Well, technically, it still kind of counts. Leader hit me in the face.
Yeah, it's nice to see those bigger trout starting to show up again. This area got just hammered by a really bad red tide last summer, and that really wiped out the fish for quite a while, and they're just now starting to show up again.
I'm gonna go back here and hit this point.
So a real lot of small ones are coming, and then every once in a while we're getting those size. That was easy keeper size.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when they start getting 20 in Tampa, that's a nice trout. East coast of Florida, parts of Texas, kind of a dinker. We tried some. We started the beach here and saw a bunch of snook. It's just hit or miss on the beach. Remember a couple podcasts ago we were on the beach and we ended up shutting the camera off and catching a bunch more. It was just like too easy. And today we saw them, found them. They were just not hungry.
They were onto us today.
Yep.
So yeah, what we have here is a nice little mangrove island surrounded by grass flat. You see the water is nice and clear. We have basically the top of the incoming tide. So you can see, oh, I just got slammed by something. That was probably a snook. But we have the top of the incoming tide. And so a lot of these fish are going to be able to push up under these mangroves. So we're having to get up there really close to these mangroves. So we're going to be fishing tight to them. This side of the island is pretty shallow. So this is right now probably a better bet for high tide just because the fish, can't quite get as far back under the overhangs as they can on the other side of the island. And there's a couple little oyster bars out here too. I saw them on Smart Fishing Spots. And I fished here years ago. I just kind of forgot about it. And so that snook that I did, whatever that I just had thumb me, it was right on the edge of the oyster. So we have mangroves, oysters, and then just off of that is the grass. So that's like the exact type of spot to look for.
And did you talk about the tide, what it's doing right now?
Yeah, to the top of the incoming. It should be, the current flow is kind of dying off right now. So it's still moving a little bit, but it's dying off. But we at least have the wind just pushing a lot of water up against this shoreline. So even at a slack current, we'll still have pretty good odds of some action.
These pinfish around here are ruthless.
Yeah, a lot of, again, the pinfish too. For a while, there weren't even pinfish anything around here. So it's finally recovering.
And normally where there's pinfish, there's some other predators around. Yeah, they are just following. You see them, Luke?
Yeah.
Like a whole school of them.
That is very, very good to see.
It's a Slam Shady. Yeah, it is.
And so for basically this type of fishing, it's like any nook and cranny you can possibly get a lure into, that's where you want to be. Getting up into as far as you possibly can, up into the shade. And crucial for this type of fishing is to go weedless. Have some sort of lure that you can rig weedless. That's why I just love the bomber personally. This is a big old bulky soft plastic lure. I have a 3/0 Haas Helix hook. Oh. And it skips really nice.
What in the world?
Yeah, what do you have there? That might be a pinfish. Yeah. Oh no, is that a snapper? Yeah, another snapper. Look at these guys are hungry.
Man. Whoa. Off again. I'll take it. less chance of me getting pricked. Speaking of that, we had a guy in our town. This is a learning lesson for everyone. Just passed away, young guy. Meaning, whoa. And it was a prick is what happened. He was up in his attic trying to fix something in the AC. Oh, look at that. These little snapper are coming right up. So he goes up into his attic, messing with the AC, cuts himself. And I guess there's something in the AC. You listeners might know. I don't know. It's some term of, it's not like an acid or something, but there's something in the AC that if it does get into your system, which it did, because he had a cut, so a small little cut, like kind of like barely bleeding, like not even worried about it kind of a cut. Something from the AC was leaking, got into his system, and the next day, like arm is black.
Jeez.
And went into the hospital, obviously rushed him in, and they said that it was so bad, they're like, all right, we're gonna have to basically cut off arms and all your extremities, and you can live, otherwise you don't have a chance. And he didn't want it. He says, I'd rather die, and died.
Wow.
Crazy. So I guess the lesson here is don't do AC repair by yourself. Not nuts.
That's insane.
Or wear gloves. Absolutely nuts.
Wonder what chemical that was.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I would have been more prepared with that. Really turn this into a Bill Nye the Science Guy type of a podcast. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Joel, do you know? Joel's kind of, he's a smart guy. Joel's the kind of guy you want at trivia. He'll surprise you. We ended up going to see kangaroos in Winter Haven, Florida. There's a guy, Paul Schultz, just an amazing guy, artist, and he's got a fantastic property in Winter Haven and has kangaroos, has all kinds of animals in its own little pond that's stocked with everything you can imagine. Tilapia the size of monster snook. It's just wild. And oh, osprey, look at that. Whoa. Man, those things are so cool. And Dan the man, our brother Daniel in the wheelchair comes, and he's got an aide named David who came. And David knows more about horticulture and anything to do with plants, leaves. He can identify anything that you put in front of him. And so this is almost like they call it the Outback Oasis. Outback because of the kangaroos, and Oasis just because it's got every kind of plant from all over the world. And Paul's obviously proud of it, and he knows this stuff really, really well. And David comes up, and he is like, oh, well, yeah, that's a eucalyptus tree from Australia, and that's like, those are the easy ones, right? And he starts naming these things I've never even remotely heard of. You should have seen Paul's face. He's like, where did you come from? I was like, dude, we brought our trivia guy. Crazy. I don't know that much. I have an app called Picture This. Have you heard of that? You take a picture of any leaf, tree, trunk, bark. Tells you exactly what it is. Pretty accurate, pretty good accuracy. Always learning, Luke. Always learning.
Right.
Just like fishing. Always learning. It's a never-ending puzzle.
Yeah, it seems like that point where we started
nice.
is where all the action was. Oh, you just had one? Okay, I just saw a little mullet jump.
Yeah, mullet jump. Something hit me there. See if I can get that happening. Yeah.
So this is a small little island, so we're about to be on the other point of it here in a little bit.
Well, that was fast.
But then we'll fish the inside as well. Once we get on the non-windy side, that's when, I just had something. That's when I'll switch over to the power prawn and then do some more finesse fishing. Where we're skipped up under those trees and letting that natural looking power prawn do its thing and get some strikes.
Power prawn.
Yeah, there must be a bunch of little mangrove snapper down there. I got popped like 5 times that cast. Oh man.
You see that?
Yeah, that's a bunch of them.
That was a bigger snapper though. Holy, look, he's coming all the way to the boat. Oh.
Yeah, there's a little snapper holding on the outside of this oyster bar.
All right, I don't mind catching a little snapper.
That one was respectable.
Yeah. Saw his whole body turn. Snapper love that Slam Shady 2.0. Oh, yeah, they're just sitting right down there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind catching that big boy. Big boy.
I'm looking for the big old snook that's cruising the outside of this bar.
Come on, come on. Yeah, so the power prawn, we're working on getting the one with a different color tail. It's been a hot request. Pelican, meaning like, you know, a normal power prawn, let's just say natural color with a chartreuse tail. Who's with me? Anybody? Because that's what we're doing. What are we going to call it?
I don't know.
Power truce?
I'll have to pull the members.
Sharp prawn? Get it?
Oh, I get it.
I'm not sure that you did. So yeah, we'll have a chartreuse tail. I love that for snook personally.
I don't know if I can cheat on the old original natural.
Oh, wow, look at this snapper.
Too good to me.
Yeah, I mean, it technically you don't really have to have it, but we're all just crazy fishermen who have superstitions, and you have that one nice catch with a chartreuse tail, and kind of always want to have it in the back pocket. I get it. I relate. So we're gonna do it. Bad news is we're learning all about this whole process. So, you know, we developed the power prawn mold, so it is our mold. No one else can have it. And what we didn't know is, you know, you have to get a whole different mold, and each mold's $15,000. So you have to get. Oh, do you see that?
Mm.
Man, I guess it was another snapper. Just nailing me. So we have to get a whole nother mold to be able to do the tail like that. Kind of a hassle, but it opens up a lot of doors because we can not just do the tail, but we can do the underbelly.
Yeah, it'll be cool to test out.
Yeah.
Test out different
we're
color
always
patterns.
testing, so I guess what we're saying is we're willing to spend a little bit of money, or a lot of bit of money. But anytime we keep hearing the same thing over and over again, we take action. At first, we're like, oh, you don't need a chartreuse tail, Joel, come on. Don't kid me with that. But enough people ask for it. I'm gonna have to get a new 2.0.
All right, we're coming up to the this next point. Usually the points are going to be the high probability spots. So they're messing with his lure at the perfectly wrong time.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can catch something right in his face. And so again, this bomber, I love it. It just skips. I'm able to skip up under that shade right there. Oh, feel snapper hitting me. These snapper are really aggressive right now.
Yeah.
And this lure is just a little bit too big. Yeah, like 3 of them even followed all the way out here to the boat. But the fact that these snapper are here and they're feeding should be a good sign of there being some snook around as well.
Come on, Snooky. Oh.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw your line just.
This snapper, dude.
Yeah, so here we actually have some current flow out here. So
Good looking grass.
Yeah, but I mean, this bomber, I might have skipped a little bit too good up in there. Yeah, so I'm up in that shade, and so a trick on getting out that works a lot of the time is just to kind of do small little twitches. If that doesn't work, a little bit bigger twitches. There we are. And eventually it'll come right out. Whereas if I was using like a plug with treble hooks, we'd be in the mangroves right now, retrieving that thing. And so I've had a lot of questions come in about rigging on the bomber. Now my new favorite is the 3/0 Haas Helix hook. This is that hook that we built for the power prawns, but with that wide gap there, this gets the job done. The hookup ratio is really good, and it skips better because there's just less material to catch the water, and it gets less snags as well. So that's now my go-to. It's like a little trail up in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I've never been on that island.
Camp over there. Not this time of year, though.
No, I bet the mosquitoes would be
Can you
crazy
imagine?
bad.
Why don't you just kick me in the shins?
All right, so now we're getting to the calm side. I might switch over to the power prawn.
And why?
Because this is finesse time. That power prawn just looks so realistic. We have calm, clear water. The power prawn is my most trusted for getting the big fish to eat.
Well, grass looks good. Man, this water is beautiful. Let's see if I can't get us something here. Oh, oh, oh. Something hit right when it landed. Come on, hit again. Oh, it's this snapper, dang. What's going on with this place? Snappered out. Let's see here. Yeah, and I'm using my mostly new Exist. Couldn't resist. Now there's a bobber up there.
Oh yeah, let's keep an eye on that bobber. There could be something on it.
Or there might be someone fishing right there in the...
Oh yeah, good call.
Either way, we're gonna go up here and peek. So we're coming across a point.
Yeah, I don't see any boats.
And either someone laughing at us or...
So on to Old Faithful right here. Power prawn. I actually have a big power prawn rigged on the 3/0 hook.
Remember that one time we came across that bobber on the flat?
Yeah.
And
Something big on it.
it was something big. And it was moving, and then it would stop for a while and come back up to the top. And we had a chance to throw the cast. We're like, what else do we do? We tried to cast to it. And we had a chance to throw the cast net, and all of a sudden that thing sensed us and bolted.
Yeah, the wind was cranking.
That was so funny. That would have been amazing if we could have pulled that off. All right, let's go see what's on that bobber. I think, unless there's some hidden boat in there.
Because it's not moving with the wind or the current. So it might be stuck on the bottom there, or there's a fish on it. Yeah, I've actually caught one before where there was a bobber. It was in the Sebastian River. That's why I had a little Carolina skiff, and a really windy day. And it would come up, it would be up, and then as I get like 15 feet away, it would go down. And so then I had to wait on it to come back up again. And I literally was messing with it for like 20 minutes. And I've already spent like way too long. And so I put a mirror lure on with a couple treble hooks on it. And it came up, and I finally got the right cast, and I snagged the bobber, and now I'm fighting the fish. Super pumped. I've always dreamed of like getting like a giant bull red or something. Ends up being a catfish. So I wasted all this time, and it was a slimy. It was like a 14-inch catfish that somebody let break them off. Talk about the ultimate backfire.
I don't see that thing moving.
Never worked so hard for a catfish in my life.
But either way, we'll clean it up just for littering purposes.
Yeah, we'll see if there's something on it and it eats.
That would be hilarious if it starts moving.
Yeah, I've seen a tarpon on Alice Fishing Mangrove similar to this, and there's a bobber moving and motored up to it, and it was like a 3-foot tarpon.
There's people talking over there. I wonder if they lost it. Go up next to them. You guys lose this?
I'm in the tree.
See if you can hook it. All right, Luke's casting up next to it. This water's looking good, though.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I think it's just stuck in the trees.
And we'll get it. We'll pick it up. Make a cast up there. Oh.
If there's something on it, I'm going right over its face.
I'm surprised you didn't hook that line. You were right on it. All right, I'm going to go make a cast over here. On that point. All right, so we're hitting the points. Some oysters here.
Wanted to get that on the way out. It's pretty far up in there with the oysters, pretty shallow.
Does it even have a line on it?
Yeah, I'm sure it does. We'll get it after this thing's over. It's going to be a kind of a pain to get to. Because this little shoreline up ahead, ooh, something just struck underneath there.
Yeah.
Or I spooked a mullet, one of the two. But this is a nice little trough where the water goes through here. and there's usually snook. This is an area that I used to fish a lot. Haven't done it since the red tide though, but there should still be some fish.
Needlefish.
So given that these mangroves are pretty deep, now I'm just skipping the power prawn up into the shadow up here, and then just letting it do a natural glide down to the water. And if there's a fish around it, they're gonna come out and smack it. This is definitely my most trusted way to fish spots like this.
A little bit deeper here. So we've been in a 2 or 3 feet now. It's closer to 4. Is that a fish down there?
Well, there's a little bonnet head. Let's see if we can get him to eat. Bad cast. Oh, there we are. It's gonna drop right in his face. Eat it. Oh, he missed it.
That would have been awesome. Oh boy. Ah. Not enough. All right. So we're coming up to the point. I heard someone talking.
Yeah, here's somebody. I think there's somebody right around the corner. We might not be able to go very far.
Or this is our chance to moon them. And Joel, what do you vote? Moon them? Oh, well, kind of another slow little bend.
Yeah, just the top there. There's the boat. It's the top of the income and stuff. Around this area where there's just so many mangroves, like most of the shorelines here, their docks are mangroves, and at the high tide, these fish just get way up in there.
Mm-hmm.
So trout are usually the best bet, which is not coincidentally what we've been catching most of today.
Oh, we know where to find the snapper. So yeah, it looks like it's a guide up there. So we'll respect him. And he's got paying people. And we'll probably go target trout.
Let's go get trout. We'll do a lesson on just the easiest way to go out and just have guaranteed tide lines, and that's going to be trout.
Are we too much in the sun for you, Joel? I don't care. That's much better. Yeah, so we'll close it out here. And another good learning lesson in terms of what to do when it's tough. What was the answer? Just keep casting.
Yes, keep casting. But I mean, just really go after trout.
Yeah.
The outside of the channels is always going to hold a lot of fish, and really throughout the entire day, it's the easiest way to catch fish. They're not typically going to be any trophies out there, but there's going to be feed in action, and whether it's trout, ladyfish, Spanish mackerel, jacks, throw a little small paddle tail or these little power prawn juniors is what I'll probably go with. There's going to be some action.
Slam Shade 2.0, baby. Weedless still skips well, kind of gets everywhere, and let's be honest here, who caught the biggest trout of the day?
So far.
2.0. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next one. We appreciate you big time. And if you haven't checked out Smart Fishing Spots, what the heck are you waiting on? It is game-changing in terms of pre-trip planning, helping you find the feeding zones fast. And the reason we call it smart is twofold. One, it is getting smarter every single day. We're literally adding in new spots. So it's a combination of human intelligence and artificial intelligence. So it's just continually getting smarter every single day. And then two, the spots move. They are smart based on the tides and the wind and the weather. So as you go through there, and you can even go out, I believe it's now 10 days on the Smart Fishing Spots and 14 days on the Smart Fishing Tides. We have a whole tide system as well. And when you go out, it's just to say 7, 8, 9, 10 days, you see the different colors of these spots move based on all of the variables that are being fed into this, like every 15 minutes. So we're getting new data from all these sources about every 15 to 30 minutes. So pretty crazy. If you haven't checked out Smart Fishing Spots, completely complimentary to our Insider members. Just one more reason to join the club. We appreciate you guys big time, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace, we out.
See ya.
Woo-woo.